The Age of Aquarius. That was our music choice by Howard Parkin, and we are now going to take a good look at the Manx Sky around about this time. And September, Howard, is a great time as the sun's setting earlier and so the stars come out earlier.
Absolutely. We always say the astronomical year starts in September because obviously the summer months we don't get the dark skies very much. We don't actually get beyond what we call astronomical twilight from the end of May right through to the beginning of August. Then officially the sun is, I think it's 18 degrees below the horizon, we get officially night time. So that didn't actually start till earlier this month. But when we get to September, of course, we've got the equinox, which we'll speak about in just a moment. But the sun is setting, from the beginning of the month to the end of the month. It's appreciably getting dark earlier, and the stars start to come out at a time when most people might be outside looking for them when they're on the way home or when they're going out or something. And they're not as much nowadays as in the olden days, but of course this is when the astronomical year starts. And of course we've had such a fantastic summer, not just weather-wise but astronomically wise, because we've had all these wonderful parade literally of planets going across our skies. Well, the planet Venus now has all but disappeared. It's still just about visible in the evening sky over Peel. It went through what we call greatest eastern elongation on the 17th of August, which means it was its maximum angular distance from the sun, 47 degrees, which is halfway up from the horizon to overhead. It's now coming inside the orbit of the Earth and the Sun, and it will get inside the orbit of the Earth and the Sun in October. And it will then re-emerge in the morning sky where we'll see it around Christmas time. So that's Venus effectively gone. Jupiter is following it, and Jupiter is still quite easy to spot, quite bright, but now also in a lighter sky. So, of course, we've had the brilliant Venus and the brilliant Jupiter very bright in the sky. Both Venus is practically gone, Jupiter is fading fast. And we've got Saturn, which is difficult to spot because it is so low in our sky in the constellation of Capricorn we were talking about earlier. But we've still got the brilliant planet Mars. Now, Mars was at its brightest at the end of July when it was at opposition from the Sun. It's still very bright, but similarly, the heavens don't stay still. The planets in this case are moving because what's happened now is the Earth and Mars have gone past each other. Mars is going around 2 years to go around the Sun. Earth takes 1 year to go around the Sun. So the Earth caught up with Mars. They were right opposite each other in the sky compared to the Sun. Now the Earth has pulled away from Mars, and Mars is noticeably, you notice each night how bright it was at the end of July, beginning of August. Now look at it, it is noticeably fading fast, and it will do so, and obviously it will disappear into the sun set again, and it won't be visible now for about 18 months until it comes back round again. So this parade of planets we've had, which has been fantastic for 2018, is now, we take a bit of a breather. But we've got the stars of autumn, we've got the stars of winter coming up, and we've got all these different things to look at. And coincidentally, autumn not so much, but winter, which you can see around midnight, you see the stars of winter rising much earlier each night. There's so many bright stars in that part of the sky. So always something to see, always something to fascinate people, and hopefully by using this program and maybe things people read about, people can start to identify some of the things in the sky, and maybe they'll get a fascination for it like I have.
But the baseline is, we say this over and over again, even if you don't want to work out what is what and which is what, just enjoy.
Just enjoy. Just look up at the sky. Like we were talking earlier, just look up at the sky. Get a dark location. It's an important point, actually. I forgot to mention that. Don't go outside, look up and think, oh, there's nothing visible. Oh, yes, there is, if it's a clear night. But it takes your eyes at least 10 minutes to get what we call dark adapted.
Yeah.
So don't look for a meteor shower or whatever it is you're looking for. Give your eyes a chance to look at to get dark adapted. It's just like if someone suddenly put a bright light on and you're in a darkened room, like you're in the cinema and they put the lights on, we all blink, don't we? Because the eyeball in our eye and the iris changes shape to take more light in or less light in. It's exactly the same with the stars. And when we get to see these wonderful parade of stars, the winter months in particular, we'll be talking about them in the next few months, they're breathtaking. And think of the Australians, they don't get the stars of winter, they get their stars of summer when the lights are lighter. They don't get the wonderful display of winter stars that we get. They get them in their summer. So we're much more better off than they are in Australia.
Well, We'll move on to that. We certainly here on the Isle of Man, well, we do prize our dark skies,
Absolutely.
and other people do. You know, now
Yeah.
people are talking about.
Oh, very much. It's become very topic. I mean, there's now 100 officially recognised international dark sky sites around the world. They just had the 100th one announced a few months ago, and it's really something I feel quite passionate about, because we have got such great dark skies, and I don't think we shout about it enough, so I do it for them.
Well, we're very proud of this, but if I were to say to you, Howard, where in the world would you most like to be put down to look at the skies? Is there somewhere that's absolutely the best, or something that would give you a fascinating perspective you've not seen before?
I have to say, the two places I've really seen fantastic dark skies, probably because they were both in the Southern Hemisphere. One was at Mount Tekapo at the top of South Island, New Zealand, and the other one was at Ayers Rock in Australia, because no lights whatsoever, and they really advertise it for you well. You have these wonderful Sound of Silence dinners in Australia. You have your dinner, your kangaroo barbecue and all the rest. Sorry, it wasn't kangaroo. Might have been, I can't remember. But then they turn every single light off, and an astronomer just shows you the wonders of the night sky. And when you're in summer where you've got complete all-round horizon to look at, no lights whatsoever, and the Milky Way is there to see, and all the stars, it's just breathtaking. But of course, the real answer to that question is top of Snaith Fell is the best place to watch the stars.
Correct.
Joking apart, that is a very important point, because when we do the top of Snaith Fells things, we don't always get good weather. Of course, we don't get perfect weather in the Isle of Man, but at the top of Snaith Fell on a good clear night, it's breathtaking. I'm not recommending people to walk up there, go in the train and do the pie in the sky, whatever we do, but that's a great location as well. And what is noticeable at the top of Snaith Fell is you look at the stars at the top of Snaith Fell, then you come back down to Oncombe where I live, and the stars are different. You would not believe the clarity of the sky is better up Snaith Fell than it is in Oncombe. And I really noticed that one night when we had a really great, really clear night. Milky Way was breathtakingly clear. I came home, parked the car, went out in the back garden, and I thought, definitely not as clear, because you're that little bit higher up, less water vapour, and obviously less lights coming in. So great spot.
But how lucky we are. It's not difficult to get to the top of Snaith Fell. You just get to the bungalow
exactly.
on a tram, and you're there.
It's so easy.
I have to say that when I go out and look at the stars, and I do it a lot more since I've been talking to you.
Delighted to hear it.
And I feel so small and insignificant. The first thing that hits you is the beauty of it all.
Yeah.
And then I just feel so insignificant against all of this that's going on in the sky. All these worlds around us.
I'll leave you a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the famous astrophysicists, operates the Hayden Planetarium in New York. He says that people say they feel small, but he doesn't feel small. He feels big, because he's got the ability and the intelligence to try and work it all out. And therefore, he doesn't feel small. He feels big, because we are privileged to have the ability to work these things out. And it was a lovely quote. Just go on to Neil deGrasse Tyson, I feel big. And it's a wonderful quote, and it sums it up perfect, I think.
And if people really would like to go even deeper with this subject, you're teaching again at the college.
Yes, I am.
I'm
starting teaching. I started doing it in 1985, believe it or not, at the college when Halley's Comet came round. And I've been doing it every year since. So if anyone's interested, get in touch with the University College at the Isle of Man in where is it? Glencrutchery Road and Homefield Road, sorry. Get in touch with them, and I'm starting in early October, and I'd love to see you there and share some of my knowledge and enthusiasm for the subject with you.
In the meantime, Howard Parkin, thank you very much indeed for joining us for the August Manx Sky at Night. Back in a month's time.
See you next month. Thanks, Judith. Good night.